In this video, we are going to learn about vectors. So what is a vector? Vector is a quantity which have a magnitude and direction and follows vector law of addition. Vector is a quantity which has magnitude and direction both. We represent vector by an arrowed line where length of the arrow length represents magnitude and the arrow represents direction of vector. Now what is modulus of a vector? The magnitude of a vector is called modulus of a vector. Modulus of a vector is magnitude of a vector. A vector is represented by a capital letter with an arrow. So this is how we represent a vector. And magnitude of a vector is represented like this, just by an letter, the modulus sign, to show the magnitude of a vector. If a vector is equal to axi, ay, j and az, k, then the modulus of vector A is equal to under root x square plus ay square plus az square. And this is equal to length of vector. So this is how we calculate the modulus of a vector, which is magnitude of a vector. Now what is unit vector? Now what is unit vector? So unit vector in the direction of a vector is a vector in that direction with unit magnitude. So how do we obtain a unit vector in the direction of a given vector? A unit vector is represented like this and is equal to vector A by magnitude of vector A. So this is a unit vector in the direction of vector A. So suppose vector A is equal to xi plus ay j plus az k. Then the modulus of vector A is equal to under root ax square plus ay square plus az square. So unit vector in the direction of vector A is equal to vector A upon ax under root ax square plus ay square plus az square. Now what are equal vectors? Two vectors having same direction and equal magnitude. So vectors having same direction and equal magnitude. Negative vector is a vector having same magnitude but opposite direction. Same magnitude and opposite direction. Co-initial vectors, vectors having same initial point. If some vectors have same initial point, then those vectors are called co-initial vectors. Co-linear vectors, what is What is collinear vectors? Vectors which are parallel to each other. Then in both the cases, these vectors are collinear vectors. Also notice that the magnitude of these vectors can be different. Now, what is coplanar vectors? All vectors which are acting in the same plane are called coplanar vectors. So if number of vectors have same plane, then these vectors can be called coplanar vector. Now what is localized and non-localized vector? Localized and non-localized vector. Those vectors which have their initial point fixed are localized vector, and those vectors which have their initial point not fixed are non-localized vectors.